Hello, I'm Miriana, and today I will present the webinar named Mind Mapping Uses for Human Resources. And the main purpose of today's webinar is to explain how you can create, with the use of mind map, an organizational chart, also known as organigram. Also, I'm going to show you how you can create an employee's performance review and save that mind map as a template, something that I've shown before. And also, I'm going to explain how you can search for information of different job candidates using the research panel. At the beginning, I'll go to the File menu, and in the New submenu, and in the New category, we have an organizational chart, which can be used to start creating an organizational chart from the start, from scratch. I'll click on this option. And as you can see, the central topic is named organization, meaning you can name your organization here. Let's say organization ABC for an example. If I add a subtopic by either using insert key or using the subtopic option, I can directly use the name of the style or the subtopic and start adding the functional departments. For example, finance, marketing, sales, legal, HR, and sales, also production. This is an example of a functional organizational structure. Under each of these departments, I can insert the responsible manager. And if you want to represent this role with an image of the employee and also with the name of the employee, you can do that by either adding an image from a file, or I'll use one example from the library. You can either select the topic and choose the image. I'll resize it. I'll make the row with bold, and I can insert with a property, employee name. This way, I can insert the name and surname of the employee that has that position. This is one way to do it. You can also insert this type of information by adding a sibling topic and write down, let's say, employee name directly. And by using Shift and enter in new row the job position. And write down the position he has. For example, a finance operative. And as you go forward, you can continue adding the employees under each department. If you want to, you can present with an organizational chart Um, as a mind map, also a matrix organizational structure. You can continue add the functional departments here in each manager and employee under that department. But usually when we have a production oriented company, where you have different products, and for each of those products, a product manager is responsible. You can have also matrix organization for a project oriented company. Let's say I'm going to show you another example how to add the images into the subtopics. You can change the image placement if you want to make it with left or right. What suits you the best? In order to create a matrix organizational structure, I'm going to start a new mind map from beginning. And I'll use a project-oriented company for an example. I'll change the topic structure for the central topic. Select the central topic, change the structure to top-down. And I can add for software projects, business analysis, manager, I'll have to change to the main categories also their structure. I'll use a right tree, so it'll be more easier to create these as a matrix organizational structure. I'll insert a new main category. By choosing enter, and I'll write down, let's say, R&D manager, which is responsible for different developers. And also for the R&D manager branch, I will change the topic structure as well to right tree. And I'm going to add another main category that will be named project managers. I'll insert the subtopics project manager 1, project manager 2. Change the topic structure to down tree, to right tree. And I'm going to reposition the project managers branch at the beginning. And if I want to visually connect and represent this as I'll color the project managers branch with different color, let's say by using the option in the format ribbon, which is the graded branch color. This will color the entire branch with the single color that you choose. Let's choose a lighter color. And for the rest, I'll choose something else. Let's say yellow one. I had to choose this ones. Had to select the parent branch. And by using a relationship, you can point out intersection for different projects. And I'll use a straight relationship. And by connecting the project manager for a specific project, in each project, a business analyst is assigned, in which several developers can work on that project. Also, you can add another main category, maybe Q&A manager, under which quality and assurance analysts or testers can go into that subcategory and can be assigned to the specific project. In order to visually group all of these connected topics, I can use the boundary option, select the entire list of employees that will work on the same project. I'll apply a specific boundary, and I will color these boundaries by using the same color to each of these. And I can also color and use another type of boundary so I can visually differentiate in which project they work on. So this is one very interesting way of how to visualize either a functional organizational structure or a metrics organizational structure. If you want to create an employee performance review and save it as a template, you can do that by starting a map from scratch. I'll use this time an organic mind map. I'll change the shape of the central topic, and I can write down the name of the central point, which is employee performance review. You can edit whether it's a 3-month review or it's a 6-month review. It depends of your needs. I can write that down in a new row. Let's say 6 months review. And I will position the text, align the text in the center so it looks better. I'm going to insert the main categories of an employee performance review. This is depending on the company's decision of which categories are going to fall into the employee performance review. At the beginning, we write down the ratings, whether we're using numbers or word descriptions as a rating, etc. Another is the review info. Then follows the review work. Then we decide whether processes are internal or external. We also write down as a new category the systems or tools that the employee knows. Then you can write down whether it's a beginner level, intermediate level, or an advanced level of usage of a specific system or tool. And if it's more than a one tool, you can select these 3 levels of knowledge, and you can add a parent topic in order to add the name of the system or the tool the employee knows or uses for its work. We selected the topics, and by going to the insert ribbon, we're going to click on the parent item, and it will add a parent topic, and you can continue adding new systems or tools that the employee uses by copying this branch and paste it to the main branch again. In continuation, next thing that falls into the employee performance review is the planning and organization, or the communication the employee has with other colleagues, team workers, etc., team members. Also, how capable the employee is about prioritizing his own obligations, whether it's on a higher position and whether it has to prioritize work for another employees as well. So if you decide which subcategories fall into your employee performance review, I'll use these main categories added to my performance review for a 6-month evaluation, and I can save this mind map as a template by going to the file menu. From the save as option, I'll specify where to save the file, and I'll save it as a DMMT file. So for next time, when I would like to use this employee performance review mind map, I'll have to import it in the My Templates folder. You can do that by going to the File menu, Import and Export submenu, and in the Import category, we have an Import Template option. By clicking on it, you can specify your template and open it up, and it will be listed in the My Templates category here. So if you click on it, you'll have it always as a new map, and you can write down for which employee that specific evaluation refers to. With iMindQ, not only that you can create mind maps, but you can also visualize human resources management processes either with a concept map or a flowchart diagram. I'm going to explain and show both. I'll visualize an HRM, a part of HRM process by opening a new map. I'll go to the File menu, in the New submenu, and in the New category. I mentioned before that for creating flowcharts and concept maps, we use the whiteboard space. So I'll choose this option. And I'll start from left to right. And I can write down whether, let's say, a business has new position opened. The next thing is to recruit new person, and we have a decision whether we should recruit a new employee or move a current employee to the new position. I'll go to the library panel, and in the shapes category, we have flowchart diagram shapes that are most commonly used. And I'll choose this custom shape for the decision. For this purpose, I will need the decision whether to recruit a new employee. If the decision is yes, I'll add a new topic, I'll position this and use the automatic alignment option. I'll use the process shape, and I will have to consider job analysis and job description for the new position. And in this step, in this process, we also have to consider remuneration. I'll also add another process. As you can see, I'm connecting the new created shapes with using the relationship option from the quick topic menu. And for this shape, as I said, it's a process. We have to consider remuneration. And this is a two-way process, so I have to connect it in both directions. I'll reposition the shapes, the relationship shapes, by using the control points. This was if we decide to recruit a new employee. So I add a label to the relationship that's pointing out from the decision point and goes to considering job analysis and job description. I added the label by selecting the relationship and start typing what needs to be as a description or a label to that relationship. If you continue from this process forward, we will have to decide whether to employ staff. So I'll add another decision point. And if my answer is yes, we will have to advertise vacancy for that specific job position that has been recently opened. The next step is to conduct a selection process. And we will select and appoint the chosen employee. So once the employee has been chosen, the HR responsible person will need to introduce the employee with their responsibilities regarding the new job position. I'll add a topic here that will say an induction process will have to occur. I'll use a normal angle relationship for this connection. I'll reposition the shape. Also, let's go back to where we started. If we decide not to employ a staff, I'll use another connection. Use the straight line and write down that if we do not decide to employ a staff, let's say a no. Let's add here a yes description, just to know in which case a certain process occurs. I'll change the shape of the other processes that occur with the proper process shape. Here I will add engage contract. And this same process ends into the induction process. So I'll connect the induction process as well. That's one part. And let's go back when we decided not to recruit a new employee, but to move a current employee to the new position. So that's another process. And we'll change the shape of the relationship. I will name this process move current employee to new position. And also connect this to the induction process. So this is one part of visualizing an HRM process with the flowchart diagram. This is the overlook of the human resources management process when there's a new position open in a company for a specific job. When you do a job interview, I'll go back to a new map. When you have a specific job, let's say job description, we enroll and we have different candidates. And for one specific candidate that you will have to interview, you might do a research online for that specific candidate. You might want to find out some information for that specific employee. And if you want to do that research, we will use the research panel option. I'll write down the name of Richard Branson. As a familiar person to everybody, just so I can find information faster and visualize it to you instantly. I'll open the research panel. I will select from beginning the Richard Branson branch. And as you can see, you can add different images for that specific employee if you already have information of how that job candidate looks like. You can also search on Google and find different links of professional social networks like LinkedIn. You can use information from LinkedIn as well. Let's say we'll click on this link. You can select information from here and add it to the job candidate topic. Let's say description of himself. It'll be added as a new subtopic. So maybe an experience before. And you can also add links. You can also add links for a specific search that you made, etc. So this is one very interesting way to search information for job candidates. Also, you can add their CV information as an attachment to the specific branch by using the attachment option here. And that's all for today's webinar. I would like to thank everybody that has attended this webinar, And I will close this webinar with this.